Hey, kumusta kong lahat? Welcome back. If you're new around here, ako si Kat, and I'm a Filipino American trying to learn Tagalog as well as a little bit more about my Filipino culture. In today's video, I am going to be filming a you know you're a Filipino win video. I just thought, at first I was gonna make a video about like me growing up, but I thought, you know what, like this would be fun. This is a little bit more relatable. So my own experience to all the other Filipino Americans growing up. So I hope that you like it. But first, I want to say if you hear any noises, that's because anak ko is upstairs and she is just, you know, she's chatty Cathy. So you might hear her little squeaks and squeals. And then second, gusto kong sabihin maraming salamat for the love that you guys have shown my other video, my last one, the reaction to the Jollibee commercial. I was like blown away by how much you guys really enjoyed it. And I think that I might make a couple more in the future. So if there's any other like Filipino things that you would like me to react to check out, go ahead and leave it down in the comments below. I would love to see it. So. All right, first one is, you know you're Filipino when all your parents' friends are your aunties or your titos or uncles. My whole life, I mean, I have always just called all my parents' friends auntie. I have my Auntie Beth, I have my Auntie Ruby, Auntie Precious, and so forth and so forth. Like all of them are my aunties, as you know. As well as my friends would call my mom auntie. And then I have my titos or my uncles. Usually if they were American, I would just call them uncle. So yeah, that's, you know, you just have like a ton of family. And you know what? I think that might be the secret as to why Filipinos are so happy, is they treat each other like family. And I mean, how could you not be happy when you have such a big family like that? And speaking of family, for number 2 of when you know you're a Filipino is all your family members have nicknames. Like, you don't even really know what their real name is. At least I didn't for sure growing up. All my cousins, my aunts and uncles, they all go by nicknames. Like I have an uncle and he's, we call him like, well, my parents, they call him like Boogie Nights and stuff like that. I don't know why. I mean, I can only imagine why they would call them Boogie Nights, obviously. But yeah, and so I just discovered this actually when I was in high school, because I have a cousin who is my cuidos, we call him cuidos, and he came here to the States and he went to school at UCLA. So one day I had to call him. My mom told me to call him or something like that for some reason. So I called his dorm room, and I guess it was one of his roommates that picked up, and they were asking like, who are you looking for? And I said, oh, I'm looking for Dos, because I just assumed that was his real name. As funky as it is, I was just like, okay, well, his name is Dos. Like all my other cousins have like, you know, different names as well. And they're just like, no, I'm sorry, like there's no Dos here by that name. And I was just like, oh. And I told my mom, you gave me the wrong number. That was not his number. And she's like, did you ask for Ernesto? And I said, no, why would I ask for Ernesto? His name is Dos. And it's not. It like blew my mind. I didn't know his real name is Ernesto the second. He's only called Dos because he's the second. And then he has a little brother and we call him Tres. Obviously, you know why, because he's Ernesto the third. So yes, you have, all your family members have nicknames. Number 3, you know you're a Filipino when rice is a staple in your home. And I would eat rice breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I mean, like for breakfast, my mom would actually make us chocolate rice. I don't even know what it's called, but oh my gosh, it was so good. And my brother and I would devour that. So like chocolate rice was the jam for breakfast, along with pandesal and Spam. Yeah, that's kind of making me hungry right now. Anyways, yes, so rice. Love rice to death. It's interesting though, because I once had my American aunt, my dad's sister was visiting us when I was younger, and I remember my mom had made us a meal with rice, of course, and so my aunt had the rice on her plate, and I saw her put butter on her rice, and I was so confused. I was just like, what are you doing? And she's like, what? I need to put butter on the rice. Like, it gives it flavor. And in my head, I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, rice is flavor. Like, the flavor of rice is rice. Like, to me, of course, we get jasmine rice, which I will be a little partial to. It is the best rice. I was just like, the taste of rice is so good. Like, I could eat rice by itself. I try not to, obviously, because that's a lot of carbs. But, yeah, rice. Just can't live without it. Number 4, you know you're a Filipino when you cook your food and they still have everything intact. And I'm specifically talking about animals. Oh gosh. So, lechon, of course. I don't know if you know what lechon is, but I'm sure most of you do. When you cook it, you cook the whole entire thing. Head and everything. Why chop that off? Keep it on there so you can display it for your table with all the rest of the food. Shrimp. I think shrimp was a big factor. I grew up with my mom always making shrimp. Didn't know anything different about it until my husband, at the time I was dating him, I had brought him over. I knew he liked shrimp. I told my mom, oh yeah, he likes shrimp, so you can make some shrimp for him. So she did. And when I presented him the shrimp, he had no clue what it was. And I was just like, what are you talking about? It's shrimp. You said you like shrimp. Here's shrimp. And he's just like, what's all around the shrimp? And I was just like holding him like, what are you talking about? And apparently not everyone eats or cooks shrimp with the head and the shell and the feet still attached. I guess they only know it with the tail, and I didn't know that. So that was something I learned, that we like to keep everything still intact. My husband to this day still doesn't like shrimp with the head on it. I have to make sure when my mom cooks it, I have to take it all off for him and then serve it to him, which I'm happy to do because I love him. Number 5, you know you're Filipino when you have a karaoke machine in your house. Duh, I mean, like, that's a major staple. Like, all Filipinos love to sing, and they should, because there are some damn good Filipino singers out there. Unfortunately, I was not gifted with music. I'm tone deaf, and I can't carry a tune. So I don't karaoke unless, well, you know, unless I've had some liquid courage. But I don't karaoke. I just enjoy watching my cousins do because they have such beautiful voices. Number 6, when you're not allowed to wear shoes in the house because your mother tells you to take them off. So anytime you have guests come over the house, you right away, you have to take off your shoes. And then usually you have like chinelas is what you would have, like a house shoe in the house. That is what you would wear. My mom has a million of them. I personally, I don't wear house shoes. I would rather just wear socks. I'm not really big on that. Although when we go to her house in the Philippines, I do wear chinelas there. So chinelas. Let me know if I'm saying that right. I think I might not be saying that correctly. Number 7, you know you're a Filipino when you cover your couches in blanket sheets, or in bed sheets, I should say. Growing up my whole life, I thought it was normal. We always had our bed sheets covering our couches, and mom always said, so it doesn't get dirty. Okay, understandable. Then again, when I started going to my friend's house and realized that they didn't have covers on their couches, I was just like, what's up with this? Luckily, as you could probably tell by this couch, there are no bed sheets on it because I made sure my mom got rid of that a long time ago. Actually, that wasn't even that long ago. She was still covering her couches with bed sheets probably up to a couple years ago. Yeah, I think she was. Not only would she cover the couches with bed sheets, she would also have on the carpet plastic rug runners, I guess is what they are, like the runners that go through your hallways and stuff like that. She would have plastic ones on top of her carpet in a house where shoes were not even allowed to be worn. So I don't know. And the worst part about those plastic covers is on the flip side of them is spikes. They like spike to grip onto the carpet. Oh my gosh, if that thing ever flipped over and you stepped on the spikes, that was just so painful, so painful. I do not wish that upon anyone. So yeah. Number 8, you know you're Filipino when you use your lips to point. Doon. Yeah. My mom always did that to us when we were kids. When I was like, Mom, where's the remote? Or where's the rice? You know, she'd always like, oh, doon. Yes. She's pretty good at that. I learned really quickly where exactly she was pointing with her lips. But yeah, so. Number 9, you know you're Filipino when Vicks is your cure for everything. Sorry, I felt like I was like some, one of the showcase models on The Price is Right. Anyways, yes, Vicks. My mother swears by it, even to this day. You have a headache, use Vicks. You have a cold, put some Vicks on it. You're dying from food poisoning, Vicks cures it. It'll help stop. Trust me. I had always used Vicks. My husband, when we were starting to date and I would get like a headache or something and I'd be like, hey, give me the Vicks. And he's just like, for what? And I was like, because I have a headache, I need it to go away. And he's just like, Vicks isn't gonna do anything. And I would just be like, what are you talking about? It's the cure for everything. Turns out it actually isn't. So yeah, I still love the smell of it, so I do actually still use it when I have a headache because I just enjoy it. Number 10, you know you're Filipino when you have some strange superstitions going on. This one always cracks me up because just some of the superstitions that my mom would tell me, it was just like, what on earth? Like, where would you get that from? Like, if you drop a fork, someone's coming over, you better expect it. Itchy palm, honey's coming. What else would she say? You can't step over someone. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's bad because if like my brother was laying on the floor or something, or my dad or whoever, and I would step over them in order to get to wherever I needed to get to, she would be like, ah, no, go back, go back. And so I would have to step back over. And yeah, I don't know exactly what that means. If you could let me know what that means, or Mom, if you're watching this, please let me know what happens when you step over another person, because I actually don't know what that means. Another one that I saw, and I don't even know what the superstition is for this one, but if you pinch someone's cheek or something like that, and I saw this done to my brother. He got his cheeks pinched when he was younger, and then the lady put laway, she put her spit in his belly button, and that was so gross, and I don't know why, but apparently like it was to combat her pinching his cheeks. I don't know what that means either, so please tell me if you know what that means. And then another one, she has so many of them, but another one that I know commonly is if while we're all eating at the table or something like that and someone leaves while we're all eating, we all have to turn our plates. I don't know why. I think it's just for like good omen or something like that. I don't know. I don't know why it is. So again, if you guys know, go ahead and tell me. But yes, superstitions are definitely real. That is it for today's video, and I hope that you guys all really enjoyed this. It was just something fun and entertaining that I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about growing up as a Filipino. And so then, yeah, basically. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and like this video and subscribe if you're not subscribing yet. I'm definitely going to be putting out more content, and again, go ahead and say hi down in the comments. I love, you know, greeting you guys all, as well as letting me know if there's other topics that you would like me to cover or learn about. I would love that. Or if you can even help me with this video on some of the things I didn't really quite understand, like some of the superstition stuff. But yeah, thank you again for joining me, and I will see you all on the next one.